What is going on, Nissan Nation? From all things Nissan here in my studios to way over in LA at Danny's studios at, we'll call that NNP West. This is your Nissan Nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd, along with Daniel, the Don't F With Me Groders tonight, because Danny is so fired up he's in a jacket. Look at him, guys. He's having to be outside. He's got to be cooled down. He's like so into this show tonight. Danny, is the refrigerator open? I mean, are you staying cool, buddy?
The refrigerator's definitely staying closed because it is a balmy 50 degrees out here in the garage. Yeah, you guys better really appreciate what I do for you out here in cold California here.
In cold,
I really put in I'm doing God's work over here for you guys.
That's right. Danny's really putting in the effort tonight. That's why the Titan Adventure jacket is on, man.
That's right.
I like it, dude. I like
Rocking
it, man.
The Nissan love.
You got to. And we got lots of Nissan love here, man. We got a few people jumping on there. Sorry, guys, we were a little bit late tonight. I've been working the system tonight, Danny. I've been trying to get all the news I can. I've got my buddies over at Nissan Community News. We've been talking all night. So if you guys haven't yet, go follow Joe Taylor. He's a good dude. Danny, there's so much out there, man. I don't know where to begin. But first off, young Daniel, how is the race truck doing? Because we have not got an update in a while about the race truck.
The race truck, I got a new valance cut for the windshield. I threw that on my Instagram story.
Nice.
It's basically a piece of sheet metal I should be installing this weekend, along with the rear window plexiglass, not plexiglass, Lexan or whatever. I'm ordering a bunch of stuff over the next 3 days. I may drive out and buy some things too. Just kind of all the fuel system and gosh, I can't think off the top of my head. I got a list. I got a big list of things. My boy is sending me some big gauge wire to finish up wiring.
Ricky
the
Bobby
batteries up.
Fast is coming through again.
Sure is, man. That guy's he's gonna get a sticker on this truck, that's for sure.
He's a player, man.
I got a dual battery tray. Just came in. I got all the work lights, the KC work lights, those round ones.
Right.
Those are going to be going in. Yeah. So yeah, it's just I gotta do a little bit more research and finish up ordering a bunch of parts right now. And I got a couple fab companies that might be taking my truck over to do a little bit more work on for just this and that kind of stuff. The last little bits.
Right. Well, so the last I knew, the truck, you drove it to where you got the some work done to it, brake lines or something. I remember about it fired up at one point. When was the last time this poor thing fired up, though?
Oh, it was when I drove it over to get the brake lines and all that stuff done.
Right.
And when I got it back, like I had some bad grounds and the alternator wasn't charging, so I replaced the alternator. I mean, I needed to do a bunch of wiring that was actually legitimate for the engine,
right?
And so that was the last time it ran. I got the ignition rewired for all the ignition stuff, but I don't have powers and ground set up yet. So for the battery, so I gotta and the wiring harness itself, I gotta get a welder out and weld in a ground post to the one spot on the cage where everything grounds to in 2 spots. Then I got to ground some batteries straight to the frame. I've got to put some engine grounds up at the front. And then I got to run just the large battery cables to a battery switch and then back to my batteries.
So that sounds like a lot of stuff that I would want to work on.
You can come on down and do it.
Come on down to Crazy Dan's.
It's not the... I don't know. It's more fun if there's like a couple people here doing it.
Oh, no doubt.
It's by yourself, it's not the funnest thing to do.
Oh, no doubt on that, man. I can, dude. I mean, back in the day, I know, and I only poke at you with this, but you used to give me such crap about my SAS project and Dave, what's taking so long and this and that. And
I got nothing to say at this point.
Well, but I mean, you've also spent 5 times the money that I ever spent on mine, but
I'd go a lot further than that.
Well, probably, but I was
20 times.
I was trying to be nice, Dan. But yeah, no, but at the end of the day, yours are going to be out. You're going to have fun with that thing, and you know what sucks for you? You're so close, but you're so far away. Like you can see the finish line.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of just I'm just trying to like plug away at it at this point. I have been like there for I don't know 3 months. I hadn't done a single thing basically to it, and because I just didn't have any money to do anything with
Of
it because my
course.
side gigs dried up a little bit, and so that was frustrating. And then I'm like, all right, there's some things that I could do that don't take really any money other than some elbow grease and some work. And so I've been plugging away at those things, those simple things that I could just knock out. Some of the fuel system things and whatnot that I just have to redo some things. So I have been plugging away at that stuff.
Well, so what kind of is there a timeline? Do you have kind of a timeline out now for this thing?
Yeah, I'm for sure gonna be racing next season, which will
Nice.
probably start in March. That's my timeline.
Nice.
That's like I'll spend every single dollar that I have in my little envelope over there on doing that.
Well, I heard the fairy godmother of money kind of dropped a little bit of coinage on you, dude, and you've had some good news with that. I'm it's none of my business to talk about, but that is a plus for you, I know.
Well, I mean, it's kind of no secret. Like I haven't like tried to keep it a secret, but unfortunately, I don't know. Is this the initial announcement? I mean, I think I've talked about it before, but
I don't know. I don't know. Could
well,
be.
I sold my Z. I sold the 300Z.
Oh
I know I've
God.
talked about it. I know I talked about it a little bit on and off, and
Still hurts, man.
I really pushed it off a little bit. I pushed it off and tried to convince myself that keeping it was like a good idea. While having like no money for the truck, and I just realized that like this truck project has been going on long enough, and I can't sit on it another year, and just throw a couple $100 here and there at it.
Right.
I have to make a one big final push, and that's so I sold the Z, and I'm putting all the money that I made off the Z straight to the race truck. So I think I have enough money in the old race drawer to get it there and get it testing and you know take it to the first race. So we'll see. Hey Kelly, thank you.
Kelly coming in strong, man. I hope I didn't screw up the alert box. Oh, let me get it in there real quick. Bam. Let's see if it pops in. I may have. I got to update that, by the way. I've got to get us a new. We need something new, Dan, for the smell my. There it is. There's smell my finger. But we gotta. You guys come up with something. If you guys can make me something, and we'll do something fun for the winter. But you guys make us something fun for the alert box there, and we'll have some fun with it. Dan, I do have to say this. So at 4,000 subs, which we're about 75 subs away from hitting 4,000.
Right on, right on.
The skate. Hold on.
What are we holding on?
All right. I was trying
Dave's
to give.
going
I've been
rogue.
trying to give this thing away forever,
Oh,
and so at 4,000 subs, we're going to give this thing away. So
nice.
And I've
Are
already
we
I've
are we
already
picking
signed it.
subs?
I've signed it, and I'm going to ship it to Danny next week or so Danny can sign it, and then he'll ship it to whoever we give out.
Nice.
So that can be mounted on your wall, so you can be, pretty cool
Well,
guy.
So how are we gonna run this?
Well, we got to hit 4,000 subs first, Danny. But
Okay.
we're gonna.
All right. We'll come
It'll
up
be
with a good plan.
It's gonna be a scammy thing, where you
Scammy thing.
you donate like you super chat me like Kelly does $10, and then you get put in the super giveaway box. And no, we'll at 4,000 subs, we'll do something on Instagram where you got to link me and Danny's pages to something and blah blah blah. We'll give it away somehow, but that is coming up at 4,000 subs. I was trying to do something with Ryan Miller's charity, but it just I don't know what's going on with that thing. So we'll do it. We'll do something fun. Oh, first, Dan, cheers.
Cheers, my
dude.
brother.
But Danny, let's jump right into this show. But first, I seen a couple questions. Let's see, Ian Labais. I know I'm butchering that. Sorry, sir. He's from the Middle East, and he says Nissan is pulling off the wraps of the Terra, and it's coming to the Middle East. But I got a feeling they're going to call that thing the Xterra, Dan, but only for the Middle East.
I agree.
The Middle East, they've had the Xterra in the past, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm curious. I can't remember. Did we talk about it? Did Nissan lose the rights to the Xterra name in the States or something like that, or like
They
had
have
to buy it up again? They have lost that, right? Because it was like coined before the Xterra came
Yeah.
out. There was the whole Xterra challenge type stuff,
Yeah.
and that was what they based it on, right?
Right. They kind of leased that name as if it were. And yeah, so my understanding is they've given up the rights to that name. Now, that's not saying they couldn't get it back. And if they really,
Yeah.
for Nissan, it's $1 billion name. So if they wanted to just buy that race out, I'm sure if they really, really wanted it, we all know Nissan's in a great financial situation right now. They can buy whatever they want,
Yeah, no kidding, right?
But hey, I'm sorry. He just said he's in the U.S. I apologize for that.
Yeah,
but yes,
they did drop a little bit of hint. They said I can't remember offhand. I remember it says bringing the X back to or something or other. They threw the X in some kind of little marketing
excitement
scheme about
or something.
Yeah, bringing the X back to the excitement, the all new Terra or something like that, or with the whatever they're doing. Yeah, they're going to be debuting that pretty soon. Which
November 25th, if I remember right.
Yeah, which is they're rolling out all their new stuff, and they talked about rolling out all new stuff. So this is obvious a big push for Nissan, saying, "Hey, we're getting back hard in the game. We know we've effed this up for a long time."
I don't think that's how they put it.
Yeah, I don't think that was. I don't think that that was their talking point.
Right. No, but yeah, you are right. Like there was 18 cars, I think, or no, there was more than that. I forget how many cars, but it was in 18 months they're going to drop all those cars out. Yeah, Joe Taylor says it is November 25th. And as long as it's at a decent time, I will cover that launch, depending on if it's a decent time. But it is good for the Middle East. Those guys love body on frame SUVs, man. And obviously there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of money there. And Nissan actually is one of the well-known brands of the Middle East. I mean, it's not Lamborghini or somebody like that.
Yeah, and they had a lot of patrol stuff, and this is kind of in the same vein as patrol. So, who knows? Maybe they'll throw that twin turbo in that thing for those guys and sell it at an ungodly price.
It's like I had talked about some of these things at one point, that they would bring a Terra in as a little patrol. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't think it'll come to the States, though.
I don't think so either, unfortunately. I think it needs to come to the United States, but I don't know if it's some crash test thing that they don't want to worry about, or there's something weird why. Because they brought the kicks to the United States, and that car was never designed for the United States. They just popped it from that, the South American market and brought it here. But
so where's the kicks made?
Kicks is made in Brazil, if I remember right.
Okay. I'm just wondering if I wonder where the Terra is made. I wonder if there's some.
It is made in the Philippines.
With it. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's some kind of trade war thing that's just too costly for them to ship those over.
Well,
maybe there's build quality issues as well.
No, so when I talked to Wendy Orthman, who was the truck and SUV PR person over at Nissan and was good friends of the show. She did some time in the Terra in the Middle East. They took a Titan over to the Middle East. They took the Armada over.
Yeah.
And the one from what is that they build in Australia? Not the Warrior, the Intech Warrior. No, it was a Navara they built. It was like the high-end Pro 4X version of it. But she said the only thing, she said it was fun. She said, but the build quality and build standards for the Philippines is not where it needs to be for the United States. But
I could definitely see that.
I've dropped 2 videos on this thing of why everything you need, nothing you don't. Go back to build a basic SUV, man. Like you could do the goofy 7-inch touchscreen because you got to have that crap now and some safety standards. But I think if you even went roll up windows, like go stupid basic, where it's $25,000 to $30,000 SUV, they would kill that market.
Yeah, but it's just not. It's not in the line of anything that's in the market right now, and I think that would. I think the cost of bringing in another vehicle that for them would probably be like, I think they see it more as a gamble, and then the tooling to bring that into, if they were going to produce it here in the States, the tooling to bring that in and whether they're going to replace or run it in the same assembly line or something like that. I'm just wondering if the cost to bring that in.
Well, Canton, it would be built in Canton, Mississippi, is where they would build it.
Yeah, that's where they do a lot of the trucks, right?
Mm-hmm. They've moved. It's exclusively body on frame, and they do some run off Altima stuff down there. But they have the room for it because Nissan killed off the NV van, so there's going to be room there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm saying it here now that I'm predicting. I thought it would be last year, but I think XD's gone. I think you don't get another
Titan
XD.
Titan XD is going to be gone.
So the only thing that line would be building is Frontier.
Yeah, that's true. That might be a good place for them to do.
And 1500 Titan. I apologize.
Yeah. I mean, it might. Again, I'm just not savvy enough with the size and scope and what it would take to bring in another vehicle lineup that that's all new basically.
Right.
For that plant. It might, and like I said, I think. And pure postulation, I think it might just be that it's a little bit too much of a gamble for the cost that it would take to do that, and I don't think they're in gambling territory yet.
Well, so AC Supersport asked if I think Nismo will get involved with the 2021 Armada. Armada is one of those things. It's almost, I track it, but it's almost like Ultima or Rogue is to me. I will follow it a little bit, but it's kind of one of those things of it is what it is. They throw it out there. There's never going to be something fun. I've reported this many times. I've had talks within Nissan personnel, people who are in the know, and they would like to do a Pro 4X version of the Armada. They would like to have a Pro 4X in all their body on frame stuff. I think though, and my buddy Woohoo Mobile down there, our buddy Trav from Australia, they think patrols down there, the big ones, are fun to off-road. Here in the United States, for whatever reason, we have the Cadillac approach to it. Those are just strictly luxury SUVs. You don't do that stuff with them here. Why it doesn't translate, I don't know. But I don't know that Nissan has the balls right now to go, hey, let's build an off-road version. We know the Patrol is a little taller. Everything's set up to do it. It's just doing it.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that I've seen in the full-size market, besides excursions are a huge deal for people in the full-size market, but like back in the day stuff, old used stuff. But I've seen a few expeditions recently lifted up. I just don't think that the amount of money that you put in something like that people want to take them out and actually do anything with them.
Right.
It's more show than go on most of the stuff that you see like that.
Yeah, I agree. I will say that once we get a super chat here, Danny, I will spill the beans on Armada. I'm kidding.
And I mean I off-road my Armada.
Yeah, no, you do. You dropped a cool video on that. No, Armada. We're gonna see the next Armada in a couple of weeks. December 8th, I believe it is.
Yes.
Is when I posted a teaser that I sneakily got that I shouldn't have posted, but I did it anyways on our Instagram page. And so we're going to see Kicks and Armada coming up real soon. And Armada, you've seen the outside of Armada. If you've seen the new Patrol, you've seen the outside of Armada. My understanding, and I'm not 100% on this. My understanding is we're getting, versus what the Australians are getting, we're getting a different center stack. It's going to be a little more up to date for the U.S. market. Center stack, we're larger screen.
Centers. Oh, okay. I see.
Larger entertainment and all that. But other than that, the refresh they've done on that thing for the Australian version is freaking nice. So we got that to look forward to. We've got Kicks that we're about to see the second generation Kicks, and I have a sneaky feeling we're going to see an EV version of that, Dan.
I could get on board with that. I think
at least a hybrid.
That would be I think that'd be a great idea. That's in that market where it's a really light vehicle. EV would work pretty well in something like that. It's more of a city car. You're probably not taking that kind of a car nearly as far usually.
Right.
It's to work and back and kids farting around in it. You buy it for your daughter or son or whatever.
Right.
So I could see that being an electric car, and I think that's where electric cars should be for the most part.
Nice. Oh, thank you, Ronald. Thank you for that $2.99, sir. I do appreciate that. And guys, and this isn't a money grab by any means when I say this. We have a Patreon account. If you guys are ever interested in supporting the show, I post a link on here. This is the last I'll say of it tonight. But if you guys ever feel like supporting the show, we do appreciate that. And these super chats we do superly appreciate. Me and Danny's got big plans coming up, man.
In the Patreon, you get special content like pictures of Dave in a
Speedo,
in a,
American
banana
flag
hammock.
American flag Speedo.
I share secret pictures of Dave standing on top of a hot truck.
Oh
No, you don't
man.
actually get that.
No.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Right. What's up, Smitty's Garage?
What's up, boys?
But so I do think I think they're gonna have a little bit of fun with kicks. And Nissan's taken a lot of crap recently about not having any kind of hybrid. Like it's weird. They have no hybrids.
I never really thought about it.
They tinkered with hybrid in the Altima, and it was a system they bought from Toyota basically. And other than that, they've never. And for the guys that are big into EV, Danny, it's kind of strange, right?
Yeah, I think maybe it was their thing. They kind of went all in on the EV with the Leaf and said, hey, you know what? We're just gonna kind of skip the whole hybrid thing and try and go full buck nutty on the EV.
Full buck nutty.
Yep.
Oh man, and dude, this leads us to a great. Oh man, this is a Herculean size topic we can jump right into with this one, Danny. So, I don't know if you guys seen it. Auto News was reporting. Friends over there of ours was reporting that Nissan and this company here, Hercules, are about to. They're wanting to do a partnership, and Nissan's wanting to kind of jump in on the EV full size truck market. And before this came out, I'd been tracking this truck for a couple months now, and this is first off, this is one of the poorest looking. I think my daughter could Photoshop a better looking version of the Titan with a Hercules front than this.
I think they photoshopped that in Microsoft Paint.
Yes, I would agree. This is not a lot of caring. This
If you're gonna put in some work for like an electric vehicle tech company, whatever, and trying to get some support and whatnot, spend the extra couple $100, spend the extra $1,000 on a really good guy. Like you can find him you can find him all over Instagram.
Fiverr. What's Fiverr?
Brad builds. He makes like the most ridiculous,
wide body stuff.
Wide body everything on Instagram. He's got like one of the coolest Instagram accounts I've ever seen. He just does it for whatever reason.
Did you know he does that on YouTube as well?
Oh, really?
You can watch the builds like as he does.
Oh, nice. I love seeing his stuff. Which makes me think like this must have been some dude doing it himself. Like Hercules electric vehicle probably like
John Hercules?
One guy, and his brother, who's probably a construction worker or something like that, who's like the VP and also the the CFO. And also the CEO and the COO and the CPO and whatnot. He gave himself all the titles.
Yeah.
I think he also is the chief design graphics guy.
Well, if you look at the way they wrote Hercules, it's like they didn't even try to turn it. It's just like it's normally wrote, and they just went ping, right on the front. They didn't even try to blend it in. I think the Alpha Hercules here.
So the picture also that's the picture from when they took that truck out to Apple Valley up to the King of the Hammers. Yep. And then if you see right to the left of the truck, there's photoshopped in like some brush. I don't think that's real brush. Yeah. I don't even think that's real brush. I don't know. It's just, I think the biggest thing that kills me is the wheels, like the front wheels, like the Photoshop on the front wheels is just
look. They went over general. Yeah, it went right over the word general right there.
They just made bigger wheels in there. Like it's just atrocious.
Well, look at the front bumper up here. The blur right by that bush you were talking about. The blur.
Oh yeah.
Where they tried to erase something.
If you actually go on the website, there's like a.
Oh, I'm on it now.
There's like a fog or like clouds that like slowly pass across it when you're watching it too.
Wait.
Awesome.
We got a little video here.
Oh shit! Let's play it, Dave. Let's see what we got.
Not showing anything about a vehicle. Look, you can do bicycle trails.
Remember, hold on, Dave. I remember. I'm like 10 seconds behind. So you're gonna let me. 1,000 horsepower quad motor, 300 mile.
Oh man.
This is good.
Hey, we can reserve one today. I wonder what it takes to reserve one. Let's find out real quick.
I should just tell everybody that my Frontier is electric. Yeah.
Uh-oh, what got you, Danny? What was it?
No, the bicycle trails,
Hmm.
dude. It's literally it was like a bike trail.
Yeah,
It was a GoPro on the front of some dude's bike going
yeah.
down some barely double track.
To play, let's see. To place a reservation for the Hercules Alpha, please email info@herculesev.com.
Well, shit, Dave. I better get on that right now. Hey guys, I might have to log out just a second here, quickly, and get this in
Well,
before they stop taking money for this thing, because
well,
obviously
what's
they're gonna
great?
fly off the shelves.
We're gonna have to change the name of this channel now. This is now the Alpha Hercules
The
Nation.
Hercules Alpha Nation. Yeah,
Yeah.
get the Facebook sites. Get your
Yeah.
get your Instas. This is gonna be bigger than Nissan.
Oh, what's up, Frontier Lifestyle? Yeah, this is gonna be bigger than Nissan.
The worst niche ever. That would be perfect for us, Dave. Find an even smaller niche, and to jump into that.
Right.
The only two fans of Hercules Alpha.
Let's see. Oh, there they are. Look, it's probably this picture of these people is just a generic picture from Walmart or something that you could just snap
yeah.
in.
They probably pulled some pictures out of frames at Walmart.
Yeah. Here, I'll fix that so everybody can see. But let's see. They
I
were
love
founded in Detroit, December 26th of 2018.
Oh man.
No kidding.
Well, Detroit, man, that's where all trucks come from, I guess.
Right.
Who are we?
Their approach is a little different. No kidding. It's called Photoshop.
Look at us. We wear suits.
My arms are crossed, so you know I have to be genuine.
We don't spend a lot on graphic design, but we spend a lot on EV.
No, that's our slogan. We don't spend a lot on design. Oh man. But so this comes up, and they all have their arms crossed except the middle guy in this
Oh,
photo.
yeah.
You'll
Well,
see
the girl has her fingers crossed in the one photo, right?
Well, you're gonna see it in just a second. It's gonna pop up for you. Julia Tolley, she's their chief strategery.
Strategery. No, that's exactly what she is. She's the chief strategery officer.
And Greg Weber is their chief technical officer and dude's got a hell of a gap in his teeth there. Jesus.
Oh man. I think that's one of them like black teeth that they give you, or like the blackout. He probably has too many teeth, and he actually has one middle tooth, and they blacked it out. They're like, it's better to have a gap, bro.
Right. So we'll get into this. There's an inside. Here's the inside of the truck, which is all Titan except for they photoshopped a little shifter there by the cups, and they photoshopped their logo with some new.
The interior, that's not real, looks really good.
Yeah, it's something, Dan. But so it came out this week that here's our specs. But it came out this week or a couple days ago that Auto News is reporting that Nissan is in talks to partner with this company. And what I got to thinking about it, Dan. What a better company for Nissan to partner with than a people that have already stole your picture and just gonna Photoshop it in there.
Yeah. That's if I was Nissan and I was looking to it for an EV tech company to partner with. This is, I mean, hands down. I'm surprised they haven't I'm surprised they didn't put 4 million mile EV range.
Yeah,
that would make more sense. I would believe that more. It's like that. They're like, if we're going to partner with you, you have to have a website. They're like, can we borrow your picture? They're like, oh yeah, that's fine. And then you see this pop up and you're like,
dude's on GoDaddy with his phone.
No. Yeah.
He's got his phone.
Yeah.
He's like,
no joke, Dave. I can almost guarantee that you can Photoshop a better picture on your phone than they did on that thing.
Oh man, that's a challenge. I like it. I like that kind of challenge, Danny. But
yes.
I mean the stats here we have superior handling. I don't know how that means anything, but okay.
Well, it's superior, Dave.
Top speed of 120 miles an hour. All these things are they have zero clue that they could ever do that. Like at least Tesla has somewhat of a clue when they throw out a number.
They just copied every other spec sheet from every other electric truck company, and they're like, "Yeah, we could do that too. See, look at all our spec sheet page."
Yeah, but I will say this: Nissan is. I'm lost at why Nissan needs to partner with anybody in a truck for an EV truck, and why I'm mind-boggling about this is the fact that Nissan has the Leaf. They've got the Aria. What the hell? This is their truck we're looking at. How hard is it to develop the undercarriage with an EV battery under it? I boggled. Like, you have all the guys in Japan that figured out how to do the Leaf and make it a fairly affordable.
They got
Aria's
the
supposed to
batteries.
be.
You just gotta redo the batteries, right?
Yeah, it's the
How hard could it be to make electric truck, Dave?
Clearly, we see the picture. It's not very hard at all.
we could make an electric truck, right, Dave? How hard could this shit be? What is Rivian, Tesla? What are these guys dragging their damn feet for? How hard could it be to make an electric truck? I'm surprised there's not 1,000 of them out there right now, and everybody's.
Why? I mean, I understand Nissan. They would probably it speeds the process up if somebody's already developing something on your vehicle. You just buy into it. But Ford spent. We were talking about this offline. Ford spent $500 million investing in Rivian. $500 million to just get them, basically to kind of get them a couple steps ahead with their F-150 EV. Now, Danny said that Donut had a great video on this about how what a ripoff Rivian is already, but that's beside the point. It's like this was the last person at the dance, and you don't want to go home alone, so you're like, well, hell, they photoshopped our truck. Why not? I guess we can just let's throw a couple $100 million their way, and we'll be partners with them. But
someone said, hold on, Hercules Instagram page is even sadder. What's their Instagram? I want to see it so bad right now.
Oh my God!
Someone would post up what their Instagram is, because I gotta take a look. I'm looking right now. I didn't see it under Hercules Alpha.
Let me see if I can.
Hercules. We gotta pull this up, Dave.
I don't know if my Instagram will pull up on the.
Maybe Hercules _ Alpha. Oh, we need this. I know it's dead airspace. Sorry, guys.
No, we're getting.
Tell me what it is. Help us. Well, there's a very good-looking lady that's somewhere in there. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Somebody post it up. I'll look it up. I gotta take a quick look. Anyhow, Dave, we'll keep moving on.
Yeah,
that's good.
I can't get my Instagram to pop on my computer right now, or I would definitely check that out.
That's right.
But it boggles my mind that who at Nissan seen this picture. And because, there's always board meetings and stuff where people are like, hey, I heard there's this new tech company, and hey, intern, go find out about them. Is Nissan so bad that their interns were like, shit, I just bring them this? Yeah, they're legit, guys. They look great. Let me pull this back.
Oh yeah, this is terrible. Yeah, I just got it. Hercules EVs.
Oh wait, here, pull it up. Can you put it up to your screen just a minute, Danny?
Yeah. So there's 16 posts.
How many followers?
20 followers. There's a picture. How can sunlight benefit pickup truck owners? Find out more on Wednesday. It's like this picture of like some kind of like it's like 2005.
You gotta hold this up.
See if this
go up.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. It's like a 2005.
Go back. There you go. Okay, I see it. Yeah.
Hold on. 2005, like GMC, the chrome mirror. There's Greg loves to water ski almost as much as his dog Ace loves to paddleboard. Check out our last post to see how Hercules EV is helping to ensure a clean environment for generations to come. It's like a dude in his cargo shorts,
right?
Stand up paddleboarding with his dog. That's good.
Well, of course, those are all environmentally friendly things, Dan.
Yeah.
But let's see. We'll get one little final look at this thing. And guys, if this is taken seriously in the automotive industry, we got a lot of problems. If what I see on their website, that's garbage.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, maybe they really are developing some tech. And if they're from 2018, they're still 5 years from doing anything.
Well, they need if they can develop tech, they can hire somebody to make some better photoshops.
Yeah,
because it's atrocious. That's atrocious. Do better, Hercules. Yeah. Well, as Nissan enthusiasts, if somebody's going to talk about you working with Nissan and obviously you stole, or you didn't steal, maybe they didn't steal, maybe they got permission, that you got the picture from Nissan and got the bless you for that truck. Do better. we are not an entry level company here at Nissan. We are a company with heritage and prestige and CVTs. We need better.
Well, speaking of doing better, Danny, well, this is a great segue. So, Infiniti this week dropped the QX55, and I did a. Oh, I lost Danny. I did a live stream on this. Where'd Danny go? Well, you get 2 views of me now. Let me see if I can get Danny back real quick. Young Daniel, where'd you go? Anyways, Infiniti did the QX55. I bet his laptop went dead. Let's see. Let's see if I can find a better thing to look at than just me on two segments. But the Infiniti QX55, and I watched the live stream of this thing. Here, you can see this is how Danny sees me right here. And I wasn't super excited about the live stream, but I did it. I took one for the team. I knew, like, I heard it was going to be some artist that nobody had ever heard of, and come to find out he's wrote a couple songs. Danny hates the QX55 so much. As soon as I said it, he was like, "You know what? I'm out. Peace. See y'all later." Poor Dan. Let's see. Let me call him. But the live stream that I watched was it was something. And like I said, the artist they had on there, it wasn't bad music. It wasn't horrible. But hey, there's Dan. So we got him back here.
Computers rebooting out of nowhere, apparently.
It didn't want to talk about the QX55 either, did it?
Yeah, no, it has no yearn for that.
Well, so Dan, the QX55 dropped. Our buddy Dave with Frontier Lifestyle. It's like, Dave, focus here. But it was that was the worst way to reveal a car that should have been already revealed 6 months ago. That thing has been done forever. Whatever reason it took. Oh. Is Danny? Are you about there, Dan?
The computer's restarted. We're working through the technical difficulties.
Oh, I can hear myself.
Yeah, there we go. I hear you, Dan. The video's not.
I'm not even. Oh, hold on.
This is
it's
what
weird,
you get, guys.
I'm still in the login screen.
This is what you get.
The Aria is trying to. That's Nissan sabotage. Maybe the Hercules heard about me talking so much shit. They sent the bugs at me, dude.
No, we know they couldn't do that right. I mean, look at the sketch. So Infiniti dropped Infiniti dropped an artist on us that nobody had really ever heard of. I guess he'd wrote a couple hit songs, and once again, his music wasn't horrible. It was just confusing. So it opens up, he plays the song. I was like, cool, they're gonna get to their vehicle, and no. We get another song, but before that, the guy gets to describe about how he writes his music and stuff and who he is, because pretty much nobody knows who he is. I guarantee you that. There was nobody in that chat that I watched that night who knew who this cat was. And I'm not insulting the guy because, once again, there's Danny. I found the guy to be I enjoyed his music, but
good musician, good stuff, right?
I didn't tune into that for a R&B show.
Exactly.
And then the whole time, the car sitting in behind him blacked out. You can barely see it. And me as a reporter, I'm like, I just want to see the car. I don't care about this. Even though I've seen the press release and all that, I was just curious how they were going to do it. So finally, after about 15 minutes, we get about 3 minutes of Nissan kind of revealing with Alfonso and the one of the other guys from Infiniti that here's the car, and they talk about it in their fun. I'm going to tell you I'm smarter than you speak. And then, Danny, they dropped this video, which you watched earlier.
Are you going to play
it?
Yeah.
Are
you going to play it?
Oh, I'm playing this. You guys are going to enjoy this. Danny, set this up before. Don't reveal it, but just kind of set what we're about to see up.
Yeah, and I was watching this video. Me and Dave were kind of chatting right before the show. And he said, you got to watch this video. And I don't think you had actually seen the video.
I haven't
right,
seen.
Dave?
No, I hadn't seen all of this yet.
This is straight off Nissan or Infiniti USA or whatever the Infiniti YouTube is.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched the video, and then the whole time I'm just like, wait, what? And then I'm describing the video to Dave as I'm watching it on my phone while we're prepping for the show. And as I'm describing it, the more like I'm describing it out loud, and I'm like hearing myself, and I'm just in awe that this is like their
Oh, so Jose
thing.
saying Aloe Black is pretty well known. Well, I looked him up, Jose, and he had one hit on his own in the UK, and he wrote for some people. So maybe he is. I don't know. Yes, I know my TV turned off. But so you were saying, Danny, I apologize.
No, I was basically finished. I'd like you to play the video, and then I'd like to give some solid comments on it.
Yes, because this is a cluster F. Okay, here we go, Dan. I know you're a little bit behind. Everybody's gonna be a little behind from me.
Everybody, just take this all in right now.
These people are fighting, and excuse me.
It's
Sorry.
a mom, like a mom and a daughter fighting, right?
Maybe.
I think it's a mom. Well, we don't really know what's going on, but you have to interpret.
Yeah.
And the mom storms out, and the daughter's like she's getting ready for some big show or something.
Yep.
And then she like texts her hairdresser or whatever he is. He takes his stool, throws it in the back of his new QX55, pulls up next to some old
the old
older
FX35.
version. Yeah.
And that dude just give him a pissed off look, like, F you, dude.
Yeah. And then, but like all the shots of the car, there's just too much like glare from the lights, you know. And there's
here
a
we
couple like super shots.
He's shaving her head,
and then he shaves her head, and she's like, "Yeah," and walks up the stairs to whatever it is, show or whatever that.
Demanding the
drive.
It says demanding the center stage. I don't know.
I don't not get that. Like this is straight up like they are marketing to 2000 whatever Britney Spears hairstylist.
Yeah,
you know,
what?
like I don't get this at all.
What was that?
There was a vision behind this, and I just don't. I mean, what a beautiful woman, and the car's not. The car is a good looking car. You know, it's got good lines. It's a pretty decent looking car. I mean, what it is as far as underneath the bonnet, if you will, and the CVT and whatnot isn't like ideal. I don't think that segment of car is a really big thing.
Right.
That really small, not CUV. I don't even know where that thing places. It's like a really fat car or a really small SUV or whatever. But I don't think it's a great segment.
Here's Danny. This is the video I was hoping you would watch. And guys, you thought that was weird. This is all
what a great night.
auto industry talk.
I feel amazing. I mean, really launching QX55, which is not a car you can launch every day. It's really spectacular.
After so many nights and days of working, we get to see
all right.
it complete.
Thank you, Flytrap.
Exactly. No more camouflage or funny parts. It's a
this
real
is a
car.
woke market.
And, I think QX55 is so special.
I love that
because
Flytrap. That's
somehow
awesome.
It's reconnecting Infiniti to the soul of the brand.
They're going to talk about the sports.
About the QX55. Naturally, we turn to this spiritual North Star that we had, which is FX.
Exactly. We invented that category that maybe we can call cross.
All right, right there. We invented this. They're like trying to sell everybody on, hey, you know that in Lexus and everybody's done this better. But hey, whoa, we invented it. Hey, time out, guys. That was us. come back to us. Which they did. Yes, they did invent it with a rear-wheel drive sports. What they call this a sports coupe, Dan. How many doors are coupes supposed to have?
2.
Yeah.
So the coupe, actually, QX55 is going to be the only Japanese luxury vehicle in that category.
As a Japanese premium brand, I think we're bringing a different kind of feeling of luxury. You know, we're very fortunate that we have QX55 to show that new tonality.
The new tonality, it's the same basic design. Everything about it is.
Yeah.
In the beginning, this is a kind of designer's dream project.
Wait, it's a designer's dream project because it was already designed. So the guy just went.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
He just went and grabbed it off the shelf and was like, turned in my homework.
Is this going to compete with the new Mustang Mach-E?
No, this isn't EV at all.
It looks like it. No, but I'm saying like it's the exact same size.
Needed something very provocative. At a glance, we wanted to create this silhouette, which was personal but very dynamic. Where the rear is a bit powerful. The fender, you can feel the.
Okay, I can't do any more of that. I can't hear. I hate to hear these guys act like they just painted the Mona Lisa. It's a good looking. I will say this. I think it's a good looking SUV.
Yeah, I
CUV,
agree.
whatever
I agree.
you call that.
It's pretty classy looking. It's got great lines.
Mhm.
Nothing to take away from what it is. How it looks. I think it's a nice looking car.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think it's a great segment of car. I don't think there's a huge market for people looking for that specific. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Is that the all-wheel drive? Is it all-wheel drive?
This one is all-wheel drive. They're showing.
Okay, so all-wheel drive might be cool, but if it's got a CVT, that's trash.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
gonna take
a
away
CVT.
a ton of driver feel.
260 horsepower. I forget what the torque numbers are. They're okay, but the problem being is it is a CVT, and I think there's a place for CVTs. I do not feel it's in your luxury brand.
Is it going to have that? Is it going to have a 400 horsepower twin turbo motor?
No, this is Danny. This is your favorite.
That would
engine.
be badass.
This is your favorite little variable timing.
Variable cam.
Yeah, this is your favorite little engine.
Maybe it gets great gas mileage. I don't know.
The inside of this thing, it's. I love the red. How they blended the
have
red
on
in with the
Q50,
Yeah, that looks
Q60.
good. Yeah.
That looks really good. Premium materials, which I think they've been lacking a little bit, or it looks like premium materials, anyways. But
I would hope it'd be like all leather wrap dash and stuff like that. You almost have to have
it
that
is.
in a
Yeah.
premium.
Yeah, it is. I went away scratching my head on that launch, and some of them here were with me on that, and I was confused because we got this little clip that I'm playing here. It's 3 minutes 51 seconds out of the 45-minute video. That's the only time they talked about the car. So Infiniti, and I even looked up this Aloe Black's Instagram and stuff. He doesn't have a lot of. I mean, for you paying for a guy to be sort of your kind of national spokesman for this particular car, maybe. Like, there's no. I would rather see the chick from the Sentra commercials, Miss Marvel or whatever her damn name is.
Oh, jeez.
That
Well, he
everybody.
was probably a lot less expensive.
No, but she fits this brand more than the guy.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird.
You're saving money, Dave.
Probably. And once again, it was. I think the car is amazing looking. I would have preferred Infiniti go back to a rear-wheel drive, sports, whatever you want to call this, a coupe.
Well,
And
someone said that it's all-wheel drive is standard, and all-wheel drive would be great if it had maybe they stick a 9-speed transmission or something, something along those lines where it's a nice smooth transmission in it, and
right.
get something that's really peppy, and hang with some of the German counterparts.
Your buddy's on here, Danny. Miso Honey.
Miso.
He said the dude looks like he spends more time at the salon than in any vehicle.
Oh, that's so right.
Now Alfonso is he's from Cuba. The guy's like he made himself. He came up, but worked his way through Nissan. But I will say this: it's time. I said this in that show. It's time. He's the head designer for Nissan and Infiniti. Those brands don't need the same guy doing everything you have.
Yeah,
This guy has the final say on what the product looks like and their design, where they're going with it. And once again, not crapping on him because he's been a part of some really cool Nissans over the 2000s. It's time for Nissan to do like what Hyundai did. Go outside your realm. Go pluck somebody. Hyundai was a garbage company that everybody was a throwaway car. I forget the gentleman's name that they brought in.
Well, they brought in the Audi guy, right?
Yeah, and he went through and just
Design
wiped everything clean, man.
Oh, and the Kia Optima, when it turned into a beautiful looking car, we had the hybrid when it first came out. That was a beautiful car. Great, it drove great. Interior was nice. Yeah, we had one of those. We leased it for I don't know a year or two or something like that. But it took Kia into like a realm of like, oh yeah, this is just as good, and it's got all the styling and it's nice and it's smooth and whatnot. Yeah, it can make a huge difference. And I will say too, Dave, is you see the design characteristics across the whole line, and sometimes it gets a little bit annoying to say, like I've talked about it a bunch before, those big square kind of intake balance things you see in almost everything now, and it's like, I get you like this look, but you don't have to incorporate one thing across the line of vehicles for everything. You just because you like this one thing doesn't mean it goes with everything,
Danny, I do agree. I've lost it. Why? I'm sure it's it's a lot like Nissan does with the Altima, Sentra, and everything. You got Mini Me, the Versa. You've moved up to the Alta or the Sentra, and then you jump up to the Altima. And if you really feel like throwing some money at Nissan, you move to the Maxima, and they're $1,000 price points. It's all it is, and it's the same looking car. And I miss the days of when Buick, even though the chassis was the same as Chevrolet, they looked a little different. Like,
Yeah.
Even Nissan, the old Sentras didn't look like a damn Silvia or a 200 SX. Like there was something for everybody because they designed something for everybody. Now, is it because it's so expensive, Danny, to design? Designing now is expensive because you got all the safety garbage and all the electronics, and maybe it's easier just to do a mini down version.
I don't think so. I think that I think it's this like tie all these designs and like the BMW has the kidney grills and all their stuff,
Yeah.
and that's their signature. And like sometimes I think designers get a little carried away with some of that stuff. So,
Right.
which
Oh.
the Z was really done pretty well in my opinion. They didn't they took it from like a single point of like this is what we want to do as opposed to like this is our design cue that we're going to do across the line. I think it was a little bit better for the Z, but in some of these facelifts and stuff, I feel like they're like, oh, this is what we're doing on this. Let's just bring that over. And I sometimes it works, but I don't think it works for everything.
Right. Oh, thank you for the nice words, Christopher. No. Oh God, BMW right now. Could they make that grill any like it's going to be over the roof at some point? Those two little openings.
The BMW kidney grills.
Yeah. It's
the new 7 Series has them. They're like the size of friggin' washing machines on
Right.
the front of that thing. It's
Right.
getting out of hand.
No, and hopefully some sense comes to this. But to wrap it up on the QX55, I like it. I feel like if Infiniti's at such a place right now where they have been calling themselves Nissan Plus. Now, that's like calling yourself Dollar General store or something of a dollar store. Like that's not where you want to be as a luxury brand, calling yourself just a step up of mom and dad,
Yeah.
The brand needs to be its own thing. And I think I'd said it a couple years ago that I think Infiniti needs to go strictly electric. Let that be your base of figuring that out, because those people who want to buy that car will pay for that tech.
I think they make just enough money to where that just wouldn't be feasible, though, Dave. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but look at Volvo's doing it. Volvo has
you might be able to like slowly build that way. That it might be a good idea. Where
Infiniti couldn't
high
get
end stuff.
They couldn't even get their electric vehicle across the stage last year.
That's true, but Nissan's idea has always like they started the EV in the Leaf. I think that they think that EV is supposed to be a little bit more like the everyman car, and so I think that maybe that's the way that they're going with that.
Maybe, but then they want to do the truck, the Alpha there.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
We'll see how far
Polestar.
that gets.
Ian, so Volvo is doing Polestar, which is basically their Volvo, but it's its own brand. It's an EV brand. But I like the car. I thought that as much time as it's taken to get this thing out, we get some new design characteristics, and just throwing 4 LED bulbs in the front of that thing, making that grille about an inch larger. The light, but between Infiniti and Mazda, I never know what I'm looking at. And somebody called this the CX-5 the other day. They were like, "Well, that looks just like a CX-5."
Yep, for sure.
And Mazda is a entry-level car company, guys. Let's not kid ourselves.
The CX-5 was a very high-rated.
No, it's nice.
One of their best little cars that they did, and that was actually that particular model was actually not expensive, but it was a little. It was right in the middle of the market. It wasn't an entry level one.
I think you're confused. The CX-5 is their little SUV now. It's a new one, and it's.
But they did that really well.
Oh no, I'm not dogging Mazda for it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mazda used to be like Hyundai or whatever.
Yes. Oh, let's get into my next topic, Danny, which is I dropped a video this week.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
On
Let's
my
get into this one.
this was me kind of my wish list for Nissan, and I wanted to see whether Nissan, what people thought if Nissan could actually take the new 400Z and then make the potential Nismo Frontier yin and yang. You got the angel and the devil on your shoulders there. And I was curious what my thoughts on this, if people would kind of jump on board with me a little bit. And the video's been pretty well received. I have to say that the interaction I got from people was a lot of fun. Like, so Danny, my thoughts on this thing, and I'm going to get into it a little deeper than I did that video. So the Frontier, the little sketch you see above me, say we're going to call that a Nismo version of the Frontier that's coming out.
Right.
It's going to have a full Titan swap suspension, because I really do think that that's what, if the Nismo does get to come out like I've been told it will, that's their plan, is just a wider track. Basically what the Raptor is to the F-150. It's a wider track. You get a little beefier engine. So full Fox suspension on this thing, Dan. You're the desert runner, and it's a wet dream for you, man. But we put that 3-liter twin turbo that they're talking about putting in the Z. You put that engine in the truck. Now, granted, it's going to have to be tuned different. We need better torque than what the car is going to have. Mm-hmm. But I see this as a Raptor, like a mini Raptor killer, man. And the only thing I took grief about in my video was price-wise. And people are like, I would never pay $55,000, $60,000 for a mid-sized truck. And I think the people that were saying that buy their trucks about 10 years old already. And I'm not insulting them for saying that, because trust me, I don't always want to buy new. But I think people that say that do not know where the market is right now. I think you're kidding yourself if you think, somebody wanted to argue with me the other day that the Pro 4X, I can get one for $30,000. Good, go buy it right now. But the next generation, you're not getting for $30,000.
It's a 20-year-old truck.
Yeah. The next Pro 4X is going to be $40K. Trust me. And the highest end, I think they're going to do a platinum edition. I bet it's $45K, man. But I was curious if you'd watch the video and kind of some of your thoughts on it.
Yeah, Dave, and we spoke about this very briefly. I meant to talk to you more about it before the video came out, but I didn't. But the way you first pitched it to me was that you actually believed that Nissan would do something like this, and I think that as much as we think that this would be an amazing idea, I do think that all of what you're saying is exactly what I think Nissan should do and Nismo should do when they should partner up and make this. This sounds more like a Nismo wish list than something that Nissan would buy off on. And who knows what the future holds. But I think there's no way that they're putting that twin turbo in the Frontier. I think that if anything, you'll get a slightly tuned Frontier with maybe a wider track, but maybe you'll get some Fox shocks on it. But I just don't see Nissan doing the Nismo version as much service as we want it to be. I think they should and or have to, if they want to keep up with ZR2s and Jeep's new freaking V8 that they're putting in their Jeeps that they just announced.
Right.
Ford's probably going to offer that 2.7 liter EcoBoost, which is we kind of heard about that on All-Terrain Nation from Tim. But I just don't see Nissan pulling that trigger on that motor for that truck.
Well, so part of it, and I will say I did a poor job in this video explaining. I got excited when I did the video, and I needed to.
You had an idea and you ran with it.
I didn't flesh it out. I didn't flesh it out.
Yeah, I think there's so much more to that conversation that
there is.
I don't believe in it as much as I should.
But here's let me sell you on it a little bit, Danny. So we know Nissan loves using the same motor for everything, right?
Yeah, but
I mean,
okay,
no.
So let's take that. Let's take that one point. Hold on, before you get too into that point. Let's take that one point. They just made a new motor for the Frontier.
Mm-hmm. For the everyday Frontier.
And they got it all tested, and they drove that thing around in the old Frontier, triple tested. So of course they're going to use that for the new Frontier. But are they going to develop a whole new motor in that truck just for a Nismo version?
What's to develop?
Well, there's a shit ton of stuff that goes on in mating that thing to that truck.
Well,
That's why they didn't put the 5.6 in it. Cause
no,
it's too much
oh my
work.
god, and I got so many fanboys of the 5.6 hitting me up about that too. And let me tell you, the 5.6 is never going in a Frontier, ever. Now I know, yes, you can put a new Titan engine in the Frontier. I'm saying a new truck. Nissan is that close to not having a 5.6 anymore. Like, don't kid yourself that if there's a third gen Frontier or a Titan, it won't be a V8. I can guarantee you that it'll be a V6. But the V8's too big. It's too heavy. It's just
I agree.
It
doesn't get great gas mileage.
no, and it wouldn't balance well in an off-road truck. You need that front and back to kind of be similar weight-wise in a desert running truck, right, Dan? I mean,
I
You
mean,
need a balance.
It doesn't weigh that much more. I think it's maybe
no, but weight is weight.
300 pounds. I mean, if you think about it, if you stick a big fucking bumper on it and a winch and stuff like that, similarly. But I just don't think from a from a manufacturer perspective that it's kind of been proven with a lot of trucks in the past that they just didn't sell as well. You know, Dodge had their V8s and their Dakotas. And
Oh, but that V8
took off.
That 318 was barely a V8. Let's be honest about that.
Even the HO 4.7, I owned one. It still didn't it was it left a lot out there. I'm like, oh, it's got the high output 4.7 in this Dakota, and this was 2009 or whatever. And I drove it, and I kept thinking to myself, like, this isn't as fast as it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was maybe 300 horsepower or something like that.
No, I don't know if you ever drove any of the old V6s versus some of the 4-cylinders. The old V6s always felt like dogs compared to the 4-cylinders, like in some of the little SUVs and stuff. I'll never forget, I test drove in a Isuzu Rodeo. You could get in the V6 or a 4-cylinder. The 4-cylinder, I think, from the factory had more horsepower than the V6. They used to be dogs, man. But, okay, so Dan, here, my point with the engine is, so they have it. So it's something they have already. And we all know Nissan is not in a place right now to completely develop new things. Money-wise, they need some excitement. They need some cheap excitement. So, generally, Nissan's blocks all their V6 mounts, they mount pretty close to similar on everything they build. That, once again, Nissan's frugality, as Danny likes to call it, generally works out in the best for us enthusiasts if you want to swap things, because it all works together.
Yeah.
So my point of the engine swap was, we know it's 400 horsepower. Danny, we're all pretty sure the Z is going to be over 400 horsepower when they drop it, because the Redline Sport is right at 400 horsepower with that same 3-liter twin turbo. Could you imagine just that 400 horsepower in that mid-sized truck? Now, that's the key to this. Nobody else in their right mind will be close to that in the mid-sized segment.
Yeah, and I bet you that motor's probably a little bit lighter or at the same as the 3.8 liter that they're putting in the.
I bet it's all
truck.
Aluminum. Yeah.
Well, both motors are going to be aluminum, but it might be just yeah. So it would work in theory.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that's something that.
But don't be practical here. Just look at what Nissan does normally. How they kind of.
I totally agree. They have a big box of stuff, and they just kind of Nissan is like Legos, right?
Yeah, right.
They're like, oh, here's some stuff from this car and this car. Oh, we'll put that in there too, and then we'll use that same part for everything.
Right.
I agree, Dave. I think my reservation, and this is weird because usually Dave's like I'm
the negative guy and you're
pessimist,
the positive,
and I'm the positive guy. But on this one, I think I've become jaded, and I just don't expect exciting things from Nissan anymore.
Well, I understand that, but I think Nissan needs to make a splash with the Frontier. That's why everybody keeps asking me, why have we not seen the Frontier? Why have we not seen the Frontier? They keep going back and working little things. They're so paranoid about the Frontier right now that it has to be a hit for Nissan. they make a
Yeah.
bunch of money on the Frontier, guys. And this previous generation, guess what? 15 years, and that thing's been profit for a long time. They don't sell as many as Toyota, but who cares because it's making them profit.
Yeah.
But something like this would be exciting, I think, for the brand. Obviously, you got to plush up the interior. It would be a shell of the Frontier, but everything else about it would have to be pretty flashy. But I was told at one point by I can't say it was in that company, that Nissan was looking at two ways with a Nismo Frontier. They wanted to build either a rock crawling kind of Wrangler-ish Frontier, or they go desert runner. Rock crawlers are expensive. Wranglers that tech is expensive. Desert running would be a little cheaper because it's the tech's there. You know, you throw some shocks on it, give it a little more clearance. That's the easy part. And I think that I think we're going to see something close to this. Obviously, probably the 3-liter is me dreaming, which I will say, yeah, I probably am. But right now, Nissan's midsize trucks are the king of horsepower. And in the American market, Dan, horsepower is everything. That's bragging rights.
Yeah. No, I get it, dude. I get it. I mean, I see I totally agree that this is what they should do.
Right.
I don't disagree
Coil
with that.
rear suspension, Danny. Coil rear suspension.
Wait, for what?
For this.
For the Frontier?
Think about this particular my speculation truck here. Think about that. A 4-link rear in this thing. Just, I mean, we're out there. Just think.
I don't
Okay. No, but what I'm saying is we're gonna put coily springs under this, Dan. It's gonna be a soft riding truck, man.
No, I want leaf springs, even if it's a high end.
Never.
I don't think coil's the way to go.
Tell that to Ford and their Bronco.
But that's a completely different truck, Dave. Completely different truck.
It's an off-road vehicle, Dan. Anyways,
Yeah,
Dan. That was, once again, I knew when I dropped that video, I was like, shit, man. It wasn't thought out. I just needed to get something out, and unfortunately, that's what it turned into. But thank you, everybody who did watch it.
Dave got a wild hair.
I did.
Started yammering in front of and that's what happens sometimes.
It does. Not everything I do will be on the money. But anyways, so let's let you guys fire your questions in here before we wrap this show up. This has been a fun one, Dan. I've been fired up tonight.
You have.
It's rare that I'm like you were saying earlier. It's rare that I'm the guy that's going to be all fired up and all excited.
Yeah. Well, I was fired up to tell you that there's no way Nissan's good. maybe Nismo. I mean, with the fact that Nismo is taking a not a front seat, but they're taking a much more prominent step towards doing big stuff in Nissan. I could see Nismo talking them into it.
Yeah.
More. So I think that is our light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, ultimately, and I was told this by somebody over there, was Nismo and trucks, like the people who are running Nismo now, you're about to see Nismo off-road for one thing. They're splitting Nismo is going to be for cars, and then Nismo off-road is going to be for trucks. The catalog that you're going to see with all these parts will be a part of that. They were talking that Nissan Japan is the biggest pain in the ass for Nissan building trucks. They said the Titan, the Gen 2 Titan, the exhaust system that they initially had for that truck, Japan was like, it's too loud. No, we can't do that. And they're like, this is what American buyers want. And I think the current exhaust on that truck sounds great. It could be a hair louder, but Nismo Japan Nissan Japan is a big pain in the ass when they do not understand what American truck buyers want.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Great
Did we
response.
lose you there for a second?
Oh, thank you,
Sorry.
Bjorn.
Sorry, I lost you there for a second.
All right.
It's been Nismo Frontier 3.0 TT 6-speed manual, Nismo accessories, built-in remote, reservoir shocks, Titan control arms, and Navara 5-link coil rear.
See,
guys, I fight against the coil rear because I've known some guys in the FJs and Toyota market. It's not an end all be all. I totally agree that a 4-link rear end is the way to go. But the only one that I like is big, long trailing arms with coilovers.
The racer coming out of
Um,
him.
Yeah, that's how you get like really good. I think coils don't quite hold extra loads for trucks. Whereas if you have them on an SUV, you're only going to put so much load in the back of an SUV. So I think they work great. I would love a 4-link Xterra. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'd go either way on like an Xterra or whether it was a Pathfinder. If we're playing in La La Land. But I think the spring in the rear isn't quite as load. It doesn't have as good of a duty load for heavy duty use.
You
as,
said
as
duty.
or as versatile as a leaf spring.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not saying
but
leaf springs are.
they made it work in the last gen Pathfinder, man. I argued with Tim with pickup truck and SUV.
I mean, that's
this.
an independent rear suspension though. That's a
No,
totally different game.
No, but what I'm saying is, they can toy with different rear ends down the manufacturing line. It's not like that Pathfinder. I helped build that truck. It went down the same line as Frontier did and Xterra.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they brought in a whole new crew and said, "Hey, when that truck comes down, I need the NASCAR techs to run in and build that one."
Yeah, I think for an independent rear suspension, a coil is obviously going to be what you're going to put in there. You can't put a leaf spring in an independent rear. I do think they should put a little bit. I think the M226 size, like the Dana 44, should go across the line on those trucks.
I think this next one
isn't really good enough.
I don't think they change anything about the axles in the next one, except for the front differential. I think that's going to be a redesign.
Yeah, you might keep the same. I mean, those axles aren't terrible.
No,
but,
not at all. Let's see.
If you're gonna put more horsepower in it, if you're gonna have a 300 horsepower truck, I think that they should bump up to have them all have an M226 axle. They don't have to have all lockers,
Yeah.
But I do think that the M226, the Dana 44 variant that Nissan has, I think they should put that in. They should at least have something a little bit bigger than what they're running with the current trucks.
All right, let's see. Bill Potter asks, is there any chance that they will wake up and build something in this 720 size pickup truck? That's funny, Bill, because when I worked for Nissan, that was something that was going around the Smyrna, Tennessee plant that some of the engineers that would walk by and I get to talk to, they wanted to, back in 2011, they wanted to bring the hard body back. The W21 or WD21 frame, whatever.
WD21, yeah.
They wanted desperately to bring that size truck back, but they cannot get it to pass crash test ratings, like at all. Like, because I was told they were going to use the same frame. Like, we want to dump that frame, a modern little body to that thing. And because, those, especially the last gen hard body, dude, I was getting 24, 25 miles per gallon in that thing in a little 4-cylinder. It was silly how efficient those things were.
Yeah, it's kind of a pipe dream, if you ask me. I agree with you, David. That would be cool. And I think you had talked about, coming out with like a workman's kind of old school, whatever truck as like a side type thing. We talked about that way back in the podcast days. But yeah, again, I think it's another pipe dream. I think I think Nissan's going to come out with. I think they're going to stay simplified.
Right. Let's see. I'm seeing a few questions of Pathfinder news. Pathfinder. I seen one the other day floating around here testing. Pathfinder is due first quarter of. I think they're going to reveal it in January. Is when I think they're going to reveal it.
I think that's what we had projected.
And first quarter it goes on sale. Usually if they show it January, February, it would go on sale by late March. Is usually that's kind of their MO for that. But I will say this with any automobile news right now, guys, and anything you're expecting to happen, we got COVID coming back. And I don't care what your politics is on this. I don't care what you believe about it. My dad's just getting over COVID and lost his mind literally for a little bit about it. I do believe it's real. Now, I believe it's where, national, we need to shut everything down. That's between you and whoever. But if they start shutting counties and cities and states down, guess what's going to happen? Parts manufacturers have to shut down. Nissan builds a lot here in Tennessee, but guess what? A lot of parts come from overseas, Mexico. There's a lot of manufacturing that's affected, and it's already shoved everything about 4 months behind as is.
I mean,
So-
California, I got to wipe my own ass with rubber gloves. Apparently, I think that's what
Nice.
the latest is from my governor is I have to.
Does it have pictures
can't-
of
I
your
can't
governor on
I
them?
can't even wipe my kid's ass anymore either, Dave.
Well,
I
that's
don't know
not
what
a
he's
bad
gonna
thing.
do.
That's not
I
a
mean,
bad thing.
maybe it's time he learned, I suppose. But I guess no time like the present. Sorry, kid. Too
yeah.
scared of COVID. You got to wipe your own ass now.
Yeah, Bill says nobody's making a smaller truck anymore. They would own it. I agree. And Nissan, and I will say probably Toyota, them all know it. But that's why Ford's trying to get back in the game with the Maverick, the little unibody pickup truck, because there is a market
Oh
for
yeah,
those.
I remember seeing that.
Somebody the other day suggested that Nissan needs to bring back the little Sunny. Dan, do you know what the little Sunny?
Yeah. I saw one. I just saw one recently. Actually, it was super cool.
I've got one for sale in my area here. I want it so bad, man. But no, there's definitely a market for that stuff, especially your little commercial businesses that are delivery trucks and stuff like that. There's place for those.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. A super cheap. We call them gardener trucks.
Yeah.
That's not racist, is it?
No. Joe Taylor's asking, will the QX60 share the 3.8 liter that the Pathfinder's going to get? They're twins. I see no reason why they wouldn't, but I
could see that happening for sure.
But there's nothing confirmed on that either. Let's see.
Yeah. So the 2020 Pathfinder 2022. Would that be a 2022? I mean, we saw with the Titan, they called it a 2020, and that one came out in January, right, Dave?
Well, they debuted the current engine last February at Chicago Auto Show, which I was at, and it went on. It was going to go on sale late spring, and then COVID happened.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
But no, if Pathfinder, I would say March sometime. If not, maybe a little sooner. But I know they haven't ramped those up at the Smyrna, Tennessee plant just yet. So they're still floating around those little test mule trucks right now. But it only takes month and a half to go through trials, and they get them right. Let's see. John Walsh says somebody posted a Rogue with a bed rendering. That'd be pretty cool. Haven't seen that. Let's see. A couple more questions because I know Danny's probably freezing over there. His wave is getting a little stiff.
Yeah. My wave is freezing.
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to go through here. Danny, see if you see anything.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about little trucks, and there's that little Jimmy that came out overseas. That was kind of a cool little thing that happened recently.
I think that would sell like nuts here, man. They can't get them to pass
agree.
the stupid crash ratings.
Yeah.
Abel, let's see. Does Nissan sell updated radiators for the 3rd gen Pathfinder that will not mix coolant and trans fluid? Yeah, that was
that in
09.
2009.
Yeah, they solved that problem in 9. They changed. They went from a what was it? A J.
They went to a less caustic transmission fluid.
It was an S to J is the fluid change, or it's vice versa.
Yeah.
And they beefed up the radiators a little bit. Aftermarket. If you love your vehicle and want to keep it, who's the race company that makes aluminum radiators for those?
CSF, I believe. But even then, if you have like an 09 or earlier, if you just change it to change the trans fluid and then change the, I mean, you don't have to change the radiator, but I would change the radiator and trans fluid. You're good to go.
Yeah.
And again, any and every vehicle manufacturer does things like that. It's it's a tiny oversight that ends up could be catastrophic, and it's just something to know about a vehicle. When you buy a vehicle, look up recalls on it and stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff. I dealt with that at BMW when I was a BMW mechanic.
I'm out of booze, man. Let's see. Nismorg, what are you guys hearing of on the Titan incentives? I see 2021's Titan's going for 10 to 12K off. Wow. I have not seen that. I figured 20s right now because they still have some 20s probably there, but not the 2021s. Huh. I'd have to look into that. Let's see. Someone made a small truck again. Flytrap says he would love to see a new truck, or new mini truck.
Blind Man Overland, you think you think a Ute has any hope to make an appearance in domestic manufacturers? Are we talking like a good old fashioned like the Holden Utes, like the El Camino style Utes? Is that what we're talking about, Blind Man? I don't see that. It never. I don't think it's taken off here since the El Camino. Nobody's done a really good push for one, I suppose. So we don't really know, but that's a big gamble if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, that's way over our time limit. Danny's wife will be trying to kill him right now. If hopefully Danny, and hopefully your wife's doing better, man. Danny's wife.
She had some almost emergency wisdom teeth yanked out, so I had to run home from work, and she's recovering right now. So, huge shout out to my beautiful wife Jamie for always letting me cut out even when she is under the weather.
And I'm sure she's a big fan of the show. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure she's watching right now. She's probably hanging on every word.
All right,
she
guys.
Can't get enough of me talking, that's for sure.
I'm sorry if we didn't get to all your questions, but we will be live Monday night on All Terrain Nation. If you haven't yet, go to All Terrain Nation, hit the subscribe button, help us out there, and we're on our way to getting that channel monetized. And that channel will fund this channel one day. I promise you that. So
yeah, we're gonna be doing an entire special on the Subaru Baja, which was a beautiful little car that was actually a Ute. No,
I was like, really?
We are.
I'm going to have to study on that one. Anyways, guys, so from all things Nissan here in my studios to way over there in Dannyville, this has been your Nissan Nation. And what are we, Danny?
Oh,
we're out. We will see y'all Monday.